If you ever felt like you're out of place in Europe or in the Western world, you might be not alone. I've grew up in Germany. I lived the so-called German dream. It means stability, predictability. Basically, they tell you have a good life if you work and if you go to school, you have a good job. I had all of this, but I always felt out of sync. I felt like an alien. And I spent the last several years, the last 7, 8, 9 years traveling mostly out of Europe, but also a lot in Europe. And every time I come back here, I feel even more alienated. And that might be for a reason. And if you also feel like this video might be for you. I share some thoughts why I feel like I have to leave here now and why I think also maybe it's now the right time, or maybe even the last time where it's possible to leave without any hustle. And if you stay to the end, I will tell you also what I think is good, where I want to go and what kind of lifestyle I want to live. So I'm happy you're here. Come with me. Especially the Northern Europe countries are really well structured, like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands. They work all incredibly well. And yeah, you can think it's a good thing, but for me it feels more like a cage. For me it feels more like fake, a bit robotic. I mean, there's all so much paperwork and bureaucracy. I mean, the other day we were just playing some mind games of maybe opening a food truck, and we had like an old camper, an old caravan. And I was thinking, okay, if we can make it with cheap money, build it up, we can do some nice side hustle. And I could do this. I mean, maybe you can do this also somewhere in South Europe where it's not so much of a regulation. But when I was looking into it, I figured out, okay, it makes totally no sense, because you have to pay, even if you do it yourself, at least 10,000 euro to get all the permissions and get the proper fryers and everything. You cannot just hook something up and do somewhere. I mean, that's maybe a stupid example, but in the end it's with many things here. And for me, I feel I don't want to start something here because they will regulate you to death. And I think that's what also happening. And yeah, that's a big reason for me to do it somewhere where I have a little bit more freedom and choice in what I'm doing. Speaking of costs, I mean, we all feel it, and especially me after coming back from India now, I feel it even more every time I come back. Prices here are so high, and I mean, sure, they're different, but the prices here are rising, especially the last 2-3 years, exorbitant for everything, for food, for insurance, for energy. I mean, I have a friend who just sold his hotel because, I mean, he had to pay, even though he used less energy, he had to pay like 5,000 euro more of just energy costs. And I mean, if you were a family, normal family, and 5 years ago you could save like 200-300 euro a month, it's good. It's a good month for you. And now, food costs more, everything costs more. How you should save some money? Like, it is not sustainable. Where does it go? I mean, you feel lack of money everywhere here, and especially if you are in a position where you want to offer something, like you want to sell something. We were working on a lot of markets. You feel that people cannot buy so much anymore because there's not so much money anymore. And I think this is not getting better anywhere soon. So, big reason. I mean, it might sound a bit controversial here, and I also don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, maybe in another video. But what we all can agree on is that the European Union is crackling. I mean, you feel really more division than vision. You feel that the whole systems are collapsing. You feel that the money system is collapsing. And yet they also want to implement digital euro. And especially here in Germany, you have the feeling that you pay for everybody, and people here are on their limit. They are on their limit, and you really feel it. There is not a good mood in the country, and I feel this heaviness here the moment I stepped onto the ground here. And also I think this is going in a direction I don't want to be here anymore like this. People here are efficient but not really emotional, and I mean, I never experienced like a situation where a stranger would invite you for food. And I mean, maybe also in the Eastern European countries this can happen, or maybe also down south, but it's not a common way. Whereas if you're in Asia, somewhere people are warm, they greet you, they invite you, genuine. And I think that's a big thing which makes us human and which we are lacking here, where we can learn a lot from other countries where we think are maybe not so civilized than us. Life is logical, predictable, scientific. There is no mystery, no wonder. There is a spiritual drought here, and I feel this, and my soul needs this. And I think for people who experience this, you cannot erase it, because there is something more than we see. Even if I just walk through this forest and see the sun glazing to the trees, there is something here. And I don't want to say that there is no spirituality at all in Germany or these countries here, or that there are no spiritual people, but even in the pockets where you have like yoga and things going on, which is coming here, there is a lack of the deepness there. And often I feel it's more about a lifestyle than about the essence of it. And in places like, for example, India, there is a spirituality in the air which you cannot deny. And sometimes even the chai wala, the guy who makes chai on the street, is far more spiritual than me, than you, because he is pure yoga in the one thing he does. And this is like just one example of what's the difference, which I can hardly explain until you have not felt it. Ooh, but Simon, aren't you running away? No, I'm choosing. I'm choosing a better life. I'm choosing a place which feels alive, where there's chaos, where there is momentum, where there's belief, where there's something deeper, where there's community, and especially where I can afford to live, where I can afford to still have time to live, and where I can see myself building something up. Right now I'm between worlds. I came back to Germany now to organize that I'm leaving, and I'm, so to say, breaking up all my tents here. I still have a van for when I come back, but yeah, the direction goes to India, place which has always felt so alive and so dear to me, and where I found so much more than I was looking for, and where you feel people are real, you see a soul in the eyes of people. And even if it's not forever, what I know where I want to be is where you can have a sunset without a deadline, where you can enjoy life without thinking what other people think of you, where you have community and where you have the opportunity to still grow spiritually, economically, personally. That's where I'm heading, and I think that's also important to know the feeling you want to have. I don't feel it here. I don't know, do you feel it in Europe? Can you feel it here? maybe you can tell me also better, and maybe you can tell me some other countries where you feel this is happening. If you felt something resonate with you, or if you feel the quite urge to move out of the Western world or out of Europe, I hope this gave you some insights. I mean, I certainly don't have all the answers, but I've started walking a different path, and maybe you're also meant to walk a different path. So thank you for walking with me today, and I hope to see you soon again. Oh, and if you're interested in what we are doing over there in India, I've got a little video here where you see the place, and I'm talking about with Maya a little bit about the plans. And we would be very happy if you guys follow us on this path. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Namaste.